Welcome back to the channel, folks. I'm Power Sports Steve. Today we're going to do a little bit of an update on my 2024 Yamaha YZ125X. As you can see, it doesn't look much like a dirt bike right now. We've got a lot of things to do for the bike. We've been trying to get ready for the 2025 race season, and things have just not been progressing like we would like. As you can tell, the suspension is off the bike right now. We've got the front forks and the shock over at Jeff Hill's Performance Place over in Griffin, Georgia. So if you need suspension, shout out to Jeff. He would get y'all fixed up. We're going to get the suspension completely revalved for basically my ability, my weight, get it resprung, and hopefully it should make a very, very big difference on the way this bike performs and handles for me. I'm about 240 pounds. This bike stock is definitely not sprung for a 240-pound rider, obviously. So we're going to get that taken care of and make sure that this thing does what it's supposed to do. Jeff has done, I don't know, 3, 4, or 5 bikes for me now, and every bike has just been absolutely amazing. You know, the Yamaha runs the KYBs. Probably what I would still say is the best factory suspension out of the box that you can buy on any dirt bike out there, which is why I'm kind of sticking with the blue bikes. I sell them and I love them. They just do what they're supposed to do. So if you're looking for a dirt bike, think about the Yamaha, right? So what else are we doing? This has been a long time coming. I bought this bike last year. I started to do some race updates with you last year. And y'all know, I think you know if you've been watching the channel, like the third race of the season, I completely shattered my elbow, had surgery. It's all plated and screwed together, and that kind of took me out of the race season for 2024. Therapy absolutely sucked. Shout out to my PT guy, Steve Kaiser. If you're in the Auburn, Opelika area, hit up Steve. And he will make you work, but he will get you where you need to be. My arm is not perfect. It still hurts every day when I use it. That's probably just my new normal, and it is what it is. But I don't think that I would be where I am without Steve. So enough about that. Anyway, that sidelined my 2024 race season, and I had bought new plastics for the bike. I had bought the new tank for the bike, some different goodies here and there. And basically, I really didn't get to use them. I did hit the last SECA race, hair scramble race at Monster Mountain over in Tallahassee back in, I can't remember if it was October or November. And I did go to a one Sorks race at Blueberry Hill in Collinsville, Alabama. And I had a bunch of arm pump issues and different things. And it just wasn't a good time. So anyway, we're going to do a bunch of stuff. So we got the Achirby's tank. I believe it's a 3.2 gallon if I recall. It's been so long since I bought it, I can't even remember. Oversized tank, so no more stopping for fuel on the 2-hour hair scrambles, which is awesome. I still don't have any radiator guards. I bought some, and I don't even know which ones I bought, but they didn't fit. So I've returned those at the shop. I did buy the Seat Concept, or no, not Seat Concept, excuse me, Guts Racing seat cushion. It's the taller and soft, if I recall, much more comfortable than what the stock tank is, or stock seat is. We're going to show you that seat in just a second. I bought a set of white plastics. I have also bought the Flex handlebar kit. First time ever trying the Flex handlebars, so I'm pretty excited about that. People say it's the real deal with the arm issues that I'm having. I think anything that I can do to get me riding and racing without having some extra arm pump and fatigue, I think will be kind of a +1 for me. I know you can get the Mako or the XC360 and all that clamp and help, but I'm gonna try the handlebar route and see what happens. Okay, so we'll go from there. Y'all know I already jetted the bike. I have not made any performance changes to the bike. It's still stock. I am going to put a different rear sprocket on the bike. You know, again, I'm a big boy riding a 125. I'm 240 pounds, I just said. I'm going to go 2 teeth up on the rear sprocket. And I think that's going to allow me to use the one extra higher gear than what I was using. It's going to bring me in that next gear, like for that 1, 2 in the tight section. I think I can carry second a little bit better that way, and maybe a little less shifting in the tight stuff. So we'll see how that goes. I may hate it. I may try to go the other way, use one longer. I don't know. We'll see. I'm just going to play with it and see what happens. Let's see. What else are we going to do? Oh, I got new graphics for the bike. Shout out again to my buddy Adam Carter over at Red Earth Motorsports. And also shout out to Adam for hitting the 1 million view. Well, he hit a million views on his channel. He beat me to 1 million. Hopefully this video puts me over the 1 million mark, which would be awesome. And pretty pumped about that. So just another side note. But if you need graphics, design work of any kind whatsoever, hit up Adam over at Red Earth Motorsports. And super good guy to work with. He races with us, and he'll get you all fixed up, okay? So, let's see. I got some of the graphics on. I'm going to give you a shot of those here in just a second. And let's talk about maintenance. So, you all have heard that factory bikes out of the box don't get much grease, right? I don't know if you know that or not, but just FYI, the amount of grease that has been packed into your bearings, and that's, you know, from your swing arm to your linkage to your wheel bearings to your steering stem bearings, you know, have not been over greased from the factory. I just pulled my triple clamp apart. I'm going to take a picture or a video here in a second and show you what my clamp looks like as far as how much grease is packed in there. I'm actually pleasantly surprised. I'm not too disappointed in that, but it's not a bad idea to pull your stuff apart, even on a brand new bike, folks. It's just not greased up that well. There are horror stories out there about basically things getting locked up because they haven't been greased. So you don't want to be in that boat. I can tell you it is not fun to deal with. So you might want to do a little extra preventative maintenance before things get worse. This bike's only got, man, I might have 15 hours on this bike, and it's a year old, which is sad. I've not really done anything to the bike. I was just waiting basically to take the suspension apart and send it off to Jeff so that I could do some maintenance. That's really about it. So also, if you can't tell, my bike is on a bench right here. I've got kind of a makeshift system that I kind of use to get everything off and keep the bike upright, because there's no shock on the bike, you know, no front end on the bike. What are you going to do? You don't want to just lay it on the ground. So anyway, I've got some boards on each side. I've got it strapped to the bench. I've got a jack on the front for the front, and I've got the jack strapped to the bike as well. My friend Adam asked what kind of redneck engineering I had over here. But anyway, it works, folks, so don't knock it. It's been sitting this way for about 3 weeks now. So don't make too much fun of it. That's about it. So let's show you some of the stuff that we've done, and we'll go from there. Cool. All right, folks, hopping back in here. Like I said, I did do the Guts racing seat. That is the tall cushion. It's the soft. I did do the ribbed. At first, I was kind of like, did I make a mistake on the ribbed? But what I've noticed is that when you're tired and you're out of shape like me, that the rib keeps you towards the front of the bike and keeps you from sliding off the bike and using your hands and everything as much to hold you up on the front of the bike when you're really trying to get through the woods, if you know what I'm saying. So with that said, as like I told you, we put the white plastic, and we're going to put the white plastic on the bike. Adam hooked us up with all the graphics that you see here, which is awesome. Obviously, I told him kind of what I wanted. But you see, we got the store in there, Extreme Power Sports Opelika. Hit us up if you need anything, of course. I went retro with the old pink and purple. You know, ride faster, don't crash is kind of an inside joke. On the back side here, kind of our thing, the hood rat things, and sponsored by the wife and the kids. And folks, part of the reason I'm doing what I'm doing right here in the garage is that I have 2 small kids and I have no time to do anything. So excuse me for having a mess right here. Again, Red Earth Motorsports, Adam, he will fix you up. Here's a look at the super sprockets. Of course, we had to go with black, and again, we went 2 teeth up on the rear sprocket. And we've got, I haven't even broken them out of the box. Maybe I'll get them out of the box in a second. The Fast Company flex bars, we're going to take a look at those. And we were talking about maintenance, right? So, here we go. I just pulled this clamp off. I mean, literally right before I started the video. And here's what it looks like. You can see it does have some grease in the bottom bearing, which is awesome. I really was not expecting that much. And you can see there's a little grease actually, at least on the shaft where I pulled it out. Nice and clean, no big deal. A little dirty on the bottom, of course, from just not having a good wash. And let's see if we can see anything. Let's pull this top cover off. Look down in here. I don't know if you can see anything in there or not, really, we're talking about. Not a lot of grease visible on the top there. Now it's just going to be hard to see, obviously. We're going to wipe that up a little bit, clean it up. We're going to re-grease everything. All right. We're going to pack that. We're going to grease up the linkage and everything on here as well. Really, obviously I haven't got the swing arm off, but there wasn't much lube or anything anywhere. Front wheel, really, to be honest with you, almost no grease whatsoever that was inside the wheel or anything, and I don't even know where the front axle is, to be honest with you. There it is. Front axle, I mean, almost dry as it can be. Really, I mean, just a very, very thin coat. As you can tell, maybe somebody dabbled a pinch on. The rear wheel, I assume, is the same. I've not had the rear wheel off yet, but when I get the suspension back on, we'll pull the rear wheel off and we'll put the sprocket on and we'll grease up the back of the bike as well. Still run the stock filter. Of course, I haven't even cleaned it since the last race. Is what it is right there. Trying to think of what else. Folks, that's pretty much about it. We're gonna get all this tidied up. We'll maybe do another video once it's all back together and give you a rundown of how we like all the parts. Talk about the handlebars. I know there's some videos out there about the handlebars. But actually, let me break them out of the box here and we'll just show them to you. Alright folks, let's open this box here from Fast Company, the flex bars, and show you what we're talking about. If you've never seen these, you need to get online and check them out. That's all I'm going to say. Of course, we've got a bar pad, we got the bars, and we've got another bag. Alright, don't need to worry about that. So, these are flex bars, and the idea is just like the sand. It is like in the name. They're designed to flex. They're designed to flex in the same plane as your front forks, if that makes sense, as your suspension, okay? There are little pivots right here, and there are polymers that you can put in here that are adjustable, okay? You can tighten these down to pinch them, and then you can also change them out with different colors, which have to do with different hardness and how soft they are. So obviously one's going to flex more than the other, okay? We're going to try them. I don't know how I'm going to feel about them. These are the 10-degree enduro bend as well. So 10 degree means that they're a little more straight on the bike. When bars have a more of a bend in them and more pullback, so to speak, more sweep, it kind of bothers my arm a little bit and it brings your arm in. I'm hoping that with these straighter, they're going to keep my arms out, my elbows out. And that's the idea when you're racing, is you want your elbows up and out, okay? That's best practice, all there is to it. The enduro version is also, if I recall, right around 31 inches, and I could be wrong. It might be 30 and a half. I have to go look back that up, see if I can find that, and maybe I can note it on the video. But they're about an inch or so more narrow than what the MX versions are. And again, racing in the woods seemed like a good idea. I have cut plenty of bars down in my life, and these I will not have to cut. One thing to make a note, and this was something that I found out almost after the fact, is that my Sakura Pro bends are not going to work as they are on this bar. There's no room because of the way that the bars are and the mounts are. There is supposedly Tusk, from what I've seen online, Tusk makes an adapter that is supposed to work with these to mount the Sakura Pro bends. I'm going to see if that's the case. Otherwise, you're going to need to buy a set of hand guards specifically for these bars, which are readily available. It's not a big deal. But we're going to see if we can use a Sakuras since we already have the Sakuras, and the Sakuras have always treated me good. I've broken some plastic guards, but I've never actually broken one of their hand guards. So we'll see. Obviously, I can't get them to move because I don't have enough pressure on them, but we'll try them. I'm going to give you a little feedback once I get them on the bike, and we do maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 rides. Tell you what I think. Now, it's going to be a little hard. I'm probably going to be a little biased because I'm getting the suspension done at the same time, and the bike, I assume, is going to feel just like the bee's knees, if you know what I'm saying. But I'll try to be as unbiased as I can. That's the idea behind this video, is to give you as much information as I can, just like all of our other product videos that we do. My goal is not necessarily to sell you something, but just to kind of give you as much information as I can for somebody out there that doesn't have, as much of a background or has questions or whatever. And by the way, if you have any questions on the bike, the products that we mentioned, whatever, put it down in the video in the comment section, excuse me, and I try to answer all the comments. If you're not a fan of the channel yet, hit that subscribe button, give us a like. Really appreciate you watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time. All right, thanks. Bye.